Hiya! Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to talk through some of the things that I've bought recently. So, been to see Cindy at Boys Will Be Girls again, which was great. I always have a great time when I go there. Didn't do any dressing up this time, basically just went for a makeover before going out on the Wednesday and to pick up some more excellent tips. So, what I've been trying to do is to generally improve my my look, how my makeup is. I'm always looking for ways in which to improve my makeup, and as a result I've been keeping an eye out for certain different techniques. So I'll share one with you now which I kind of learnt on Wednesday, and I've gone out and tried to grab a few things so I can try to replicate it. I'm not there yet, it's not done yet, but I'm getting there. You may not notice much different about my makeup, and maybe that's because of the lighting in here. I don't know. But most I'm wearing exactly the same stuff, and there's a few subtle changes, but I'll get a bit closer and show you what those are. So, a little bit of emergency shopping, having come back after Wednesday, and decided to get myself a few items that I really needed to try and do this look. Now, one of these isn't the product that was used on Wednesday, but it's something that I saw and I thought, okay, we'll give that a go. It's in the ballpark, but I do have the proper product coming probably next week. So, but I wanted to get in and try this. So I grabbed something first. It was quite cheap, but there we go. So, products I bought. Now, one of the things I talked about previously was the beard cover. Now, one thing I never normally do is when I put the beard cover on, I just then apply foundation directly on top of it, my MAC foundation. And I figured this time, having seen what Cindy did, that I would get myself a lot more powder. I really don't use very much powder. I use it at the end and I mainly brush it on. And I've decided to go a little bit more full on with my powder routine. So I grabbed this. Now, I have no idea if it's any good. I do know it smells quite flowery. So a bit smell a bit like an old lady. Kind of. You don't really smell of it. You know what I mean? But, you know, when you put it on, it smells a bit floral. Let's put it that way. And it is this air spun loose face powder. Now, it's translucent, which I like. I have no idea if it's any good. It feels like it's quite sort of old-timey product. But I grabbed this because it was cheap and I figured it'd be fun to try it out a little bit, see if it's any good. Oh, I can smell it now, it's really quite floral. Anyway, that's been working well. So I'm now applying that on top of the beard cover, just to try and sort of give me a nice neutral shade. And that's stopping it, I think, blending into the foundation, letting the foundation sit on top of it, which is much better. Sounds obvious, I know, but I wasn't doing it, so it's a new thing. Anyway, oh look, tapping, it's like ASMR. Getting ASMR now. It's like the nails, like the sound the nails make. So I got that. I have powder obviously, but I have this really good MAC powder, and I figured while I'm learning, I'll get this just to really have something to practice with. So the other thing I was looking at was using creams for contouring. Now I normally contour using only powder, so I use a bronzing powder. And that I use to generate the contours here, then you have the sort of shiny cheeks on top of that. And I've not done much in the way of highlighting in the past. Highlighting is normally just a bit of shine on the nose, chin a little bit, but not really too much. And this time I figured what I'd do is I'd go out and get something. So I went and got this. Now this is a contouring pack. It was less than £10 on Amazon, but it has 3 tones and they're cream. It also has this sort of handy how to apply your contour thing on the inside, just in case you forget any areas. But it has your contour shade here. I've covered it up so I don't get crap on my nails. Your bronze shade, which I don't think I'll be using, and your highlight shade. And what I did this time, copying what I'd seen, was I used the contouring shade here, obviously down here, along the jawline and top of the forehead and down the side of the nose. And then use the highlight shade, which again here, nice sort of highlighty shade here, down the bridge of the nose and all the way under the eye, much more than I would normally do, under the eye and up the side of the temples here. Now, I think you don't notice a huge difference from doing this, but overall I think it makes it look more structured and more professional, certainly. So I'm very happy with what's turned out from this. The products that I'm going to be using full time, I'll talk about those when they arrive because I'll give them a go, see if they're any different. But this was quite useful. I did find it quite hard to apply. I might use a sponge in future. I try to use a brush, but this is quite a stiff cream and the brush simply is sort of glooped up on the brush, and then spreading it around was hard. I think I could do with a more firm bristle brush that the bristles won't bend, and it'd be more like a stippling effect. That would be better. But yeah, this was a bit floppy and then you're just dragging it around your face. But it worked out okay in the end. And I'll show you the last thing I got, and then I'll go a little bit close up so you can see how it turned out. And the last thing I got was this, which is a Maybelline white eyeliner. And this is just for the inner corner of the eyes. Now again, this is something Cindy did on Wednesday. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Now, Cindy has a sparkly one, and I couldn't find a sparkly one quickly anyway. So I got this one, which is a white. And what I do is I apply that, and then I use this silver colour from this one. This is an old Maybelline one of mine. You can see the silver over here. Nice sparkly silver colour. And I simply sort of applied some of that on top. So you get the white highlight and the silvery sparkly bit in the corner of the eyes. So I'll just show you both the highlighting and what that's kind of done to the inner corner of my eye. So I'm going to get really close now. Here I come. Okay, so hopefully what you can see is, if this thing will do, so you can see the white, here the lightness up the side of the face, and then in the corner of my eye there, you can see the white line above and below with the sort of silver on the inside. And that, I think, when you're close up, looks really, really good. And again, so you can see I like it. Me likey. Really good trip. Happy with everything I got. And that for me is it's the beauty of going on to a makeover or going to somewhere where they're not trying to sell you anything, because you're buying the service, you're buying the makeover service. But it's great if you can pick up tips, and that's really what I do. I've had a sort of I've had a few makeovers in my time, and I always try and use them wisely. Pay attention, watch what's done, and really try and pay attention to the basics. Watch how people are moving the brush. How do people move brushes? Do they go sweep them across the eyes? Do they go in circles? What do they do on the face? How are they applying blush? You know, a lot of people, you know, I used to streak the brush onto your face. Is it applied with a more feathery type approach? It's all very interesting just to see how people do different techniques. And I'm sure ultimately it's all just about making very, very, very tiny incremental improvements. So I know that my basic makeup is pretty good. It's fine for going out at night. So I'm quite happy with it. But always little things that make your face sort of zing or be interesting or just pop out that little bit. Like what I do with my lip liner and my lip sort of techniques. Something like that with my eyes, which is just adding a little layer, just that little extra that really makes it sort of stand out. And that's what I'm looking to at the moment. So that trip was fantastic. A real eye-opener, if you will. And yeah, great time, great fun. Amy had fun as well. But you know, it's not about Amy, is it? This one is all about me. Anyway, so, good talking. If you want any more information about Boys Will Be Girls, I'm not doing a review of them or anything. I'm not sort of saying, you know, how I rated it or anything else like that. For a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't have, I haven't asked Cindy for her permission to talk about her place. So I'm just giving my general experiences of going along there. I've been there, like I said, 3 times now. I love it. I would go to other places. You know, I'm not like a favouriteist like that. I would go somewhere else as well, just to try things out, try new things. But no, I really like what she does. Very, very good work. And she's so nice. She really is lovely. So, thoroughly recommend her if you're thinking about it. And if you happen to be in the sort of southern half of the UK type area and you fancy a, you know, trip over, always good. Go for it. So, if you want to ask me anything about that, about how it went, about what it was like going out in Soho, about the wonderful people we met, the good fun that was had, then by all means send me a message, comment below, let me know what you think. Happy to talk about products, happy to talk about what I'm going to get next, and in particular about anything to do with makeover services and whether they're useful, how they work, how you can get the most out of them, and really feel like you're getting a little bit extra for your money. And that really is the trick for me. If you go and do a makeover, then a makeover should pay for itself based on just your experiences of the day and your photos and how you look back on it. And that is what you're paying for with a makeover. That's by far and away the most important part. But if you can pick up some tips, if you can be observant, if you can see what they're doing, even if you just try and focus on one thing, whether it's foundation, just sort of foundation cover, whatever it happens to be, focus on one thing that maybe you're going to try and remember that, and just make a few notes and ask questions, okay? Ask questions. I've never met a makeover artist who wasn't happy to talk about the products and happy to talk about what they have, because let's face it, they have probably 20, 30, 40, 50 times more stuff than you and I do. They've got a vast array of things at their disposal. They can try different things, and they have skills and expertise that we don't have. You know, they are massively at an advantage to us. Getting a little bit of tips, a little bit of help and information from them, for me, I've never met anyone who wasn't more than happy to do that. And I think that's just a way to really enhance the experience, take a little bit of it home with you, and try and replicate it next time. It's little steps to get better and better. Thank you for listening to me today. Lovely to talk to you again. Any questions, like I said, any comments, please let me know. I'll get back to you, I promise. And yeah, look forward to talking to you again soon. Okay, then. Bye!